Real estate purchase contingencies establish requirements and conditions that must be met, or the buyer can walk away from the deal without penalty or loss of earnest money. With a contingency in place, buyers have an extra layer of protection compared to contracts with no contingencies. This is why sellers prefer fewer contingencies and often view offers with less of them as more appealing. Occasionally, a seller can add a contingency to a contract. This is sometimes known as a reverse contingency because it benefits the seller instead of the buyer. There are 4 common types of real estate purchase contingencies. The due diligence contingency, sometimes referred to as an inspection contingency. With this contingency, the due diligence period is arguably the most important thing and is an agreed upon period of time between an accepted offer and the buyer agreeing to proceed towards closing. Within that due diligence period, a buyer can inspect the property, renegotiate price and terms, or walk away from the sale completely for any reason. Some market conditions allow for longer due diligence periods to be negotiated, while other markets have buyers waiving their rights to due diligence altogether. It really is best to work with an agent who's a strategic guide, not just someone with a real estate license. A guide will know how to negotiate due diligence effectively. The finance contingency gives a buyer a way out of the contract if they don't get approved for the method of financing included in the offer. This is a very common contingency, as most buyers need to get a loan fully approved before proceeding to closing. Buyers should always get pre-approved by a reputable lender to give the seller confidence in accepting their offer, and in some cases, reduce the need for a finance contingency altogether. The appraisal contingency makes the contract contingent upon the home appraising at or above the sales price. If the house doesn't appraise for the full value of the asking price, the buyer has some choices in how to move forward. If you still want to buy the home at list price, you can pay the difference between the contract price and the appraised value, if you have the money. A buyer can also ask the seller to negotiate the price to match the appraised value, or meet in the middle with both sides giving a little. The seller may or may not be willing to negotiate, so with an appraisal contingency, the buyer can cancel penalty-free and get their earnest money back. The home sale contingency is often used when the buyer needs to sell their current home before they can afford to buy the next home. These contingencies may include a kick-out clause that allow the seller to peruse other offers and move forward with a different buyer, essentially kicking the first buyer out of the contract if they don't remove the home sale contingency within 24 to 72 hours. In a buyer's market, home sale contingencies add confidence for a smooth transition, but in a seller's market, it could place buyers at a major disadvantage. Contingencies can also come in other forms, such as special stipulations, exhibits, or amendments. Contingencies are excellent tools to help buyers and sometimes sellers, but it's essential to be strategic about which ones work best to help find your path forward. Reach out today or go to pathpost.com to start a conversation with a strategic guide. We'll learn what matters most to you and craft a custom plan to help you achieve your goals and maximize results.